That's pretty revealing about the heartache in that Galway dressing room, Paul.
Yeah, days like today, matches like that, that's what, you know, GA does to you. Hurling quarter-finals, knockout. You know, you can obviously see the Galway manager there is very moved by the defeat, and in fairness, he has every right to be. Such an effort there in the second half Galway put in after a slow enough start. But I think credit enough to Tipperary. They kept their heads near the end of it, tapped over 3 points to get the victory. But it had everything today. It was a very exciting match.
It was great stuff, and you don't want to see a loser in a game like that, Donal, but did Tip deserve it?
Well, I've always made a point that the team that scores most deserves it. It's as simple as that, because it's a cruel, like, sport is cruel, and we saw the difference in the managers there, right? John McIntyre, you know, down the depths of despair, really, because they put in every much the same effort as Tip did, and it could have ended a draw, really, and you know, but that is sport, and you can't blame a team for grabbing their chances at the end. And I suppose Tip had the chances, and they put them away when they needed it. But rip-roaring game, like, and we forget that these people are amateurs, like, and the entertainment that they serve up is absolutely fantastic. So great credit to everybody involved. Yeah.
You were looking at the Tip scores. I mean, they got one score more, but you were impressed with some of their finishing.
Absolutely, Des. I suppose, you know, the defeat against Cork, we were kind of a small bit critical of them. You know, they weren't really playing for each other or passing around, but today they obviously trained hard on it. Owen Kelly in particular was very, you know, involved in most of it. You can see that laying off to Noel McGrath. Again, probably a bad mistake there by Donald Barry, but good pass in there from Young Bar, and Owen Kelly bearing down on goal. A decent enough shot, but, you know, finds the back of the net. But you can see running out here what it means to Owen, you know, and obviously they've worked on it, and telling him, his teammate, that's your score, you know, building up his confidence. But again, like, I mean, Galway, while they were sitting back in times, like, Tipperary did throw the ball around better. But here's the one example: Shane Cavan, a Galway fullback, 40 yards from goal, Seamus Callan all on his own. This is the second time it happened. And in fairness, Callum isn't going to miss like that, a low shot to the keeper's left. It was a completely different display from Tip. There's Owen Kelly again, finding a man. Other days, other players were shooting from different good angles and not bringing the players into play. And here's a goal, a bit of fortune about this. You know, Gerard Ryan runs onto a hand pass, probably misdirected for Lar Corbett, but takes full advantage of it. And going into the next game, I think Tipperary will take great heart from that, and that they're starting to play as a team more than as individuals.
Right. You said Galway did very well in parts, but where did maybe it go wrong for Galway today, Donal?
Well, I suppose small things, Des, you know, we can go back, any big major game that you lose, small little things go wrong, and, you know, we're looking at a long ball going in there. They didn't box the Tip players out. Lar Corbett nearly got in for the goal there, but Donal Barry should have been smarter going out to the corner flag here, and, you know, that's a ball you should win. That's bread and butter stuff, and they were under pressure, and Owen Kelly picked it up and eventually put it over the bar. So, you know, that's a big psychological blow, and this was poor really from Colm Callan, straight out to Gerard Ryan, like the Temple Derry club, and he races through, and this is inexcusable. Damien Giles comes over and commits a foul. I mean, he was heading that time for slightly towards the corner flag. You box the player out, you knock him out to the sideline, you know, you don't give him a free puck. And this was bad communication here. Shane Cavan would have grabbed the ball, Donal Barry knocks it down, ends up in the back of the net. Donal Barry should be 2 hands in a hurley, kill it or catch it, or even bat it away it is. But, you know, and they were capable of good scores. Damien Hayes showed very good, you know, vision there, picked out Tanyan, and they got a good point. So they were capable of getting good scores, but you can't give silly little things away like this and hope to win big matches.
Well, their next big match for Tip now is against Waterford. Do you see areas where maybe Waterford can exploit Tipperary?
Well, there is, like, I mean, it's obvious enough to anyone watching the match today. Like, Galway were, you know, benefited of a few indiscretions or kind of lack of concentration in the Tipperary defence. This is kind of the lesser of the three, but again, Ian Ryan gets goal side of his man, runs in, and a great finish. Short, yeah, he uses Paul Kern as kind of a shield there, but this is probably the most glaring one, where Paul Kern comes out 5 yards ahead of his man, miscontrols it, 1 touch, 2 touch, tried it back to Brendan Cummins. In come Damien Hayes, a simple goal for Galway. And those scores kept Galway in the game. Like, Tipperary were in charge at that time, but in fairness to Damien Hayes, never gave up and finished it well.
Yeah, but that was very poor. You'd be expecting Paul Curran had plenty of time, and, you know, and this is the penalty situation where you start Paddy Markham. This is very slack, really, Des. You keep your body between the opposing forward and the ball. You should have just knocked that ball out towards the corner flag, you know. And when you have Joe Canning around, these are the things that will be punished. And from here on,
they should have saved that as well.
Well, well, you're coming up against the likes of Waterford or Kilkenny, the expert penalty takers. You know, these are the little simple things. But having said that, Liam Sheedy will be delighted that these things happen, because he can now work on them, right, and they'll be far more sharper than the next day.
All right then. a lot of talking point about how the game finished. You know, Galway on the attack, ball, whatever, 12 metres out from goal, and the ref blew up.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Galway people frustrated by it.
For defenders, there's the old thing in a rock like that was try and stand on the ball. But there, I would agree with them. But you know, possibly a throw in at that stage because it was inconclusive. But you know, the rule is that the referee governs the time, and he had 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes. What that means, nobody knows. So he blew up because he felt it was 3 minutes and 13 seconds or whatever else. But I think to be fair, he could have thrown in the ball and see what way to develop, and I think everybody in Croke Park would have wished for that, but that's a grey area, and until they get to the time where they have a time clock and where they signal, you know, time off and they give it exact time, I think you're going to get endings like that at times.
What did you think at the time, Paul?
Yeah, I was disappointed actually, Des, because I was hoping the game would continue on and we'd get an equalising score maybe, but I suppose from Tipperary's point of view it was acceptable. From a neutral's point of view, I'd like to see maybe the rule with the buzzer come into play where there's no grey area, but disappointed today that the game ended in such a kind of a dubious, you know, circumstances.
An email came in from a senior referee in Dublin who said by his calculations there was about 6 minutes of stoppages in the second half alone. He said he thought the ref got the first half time wrong as well, not as important. And yesterday in the first match, the fourth official held up 2 minutes. Banty lost ahead with him. Are these boys on instruction from Croker to never play more than 3 minutes? Does the digital clock not go over the number 3? He says surely Ollie Canning was down for 3 minutes alone for his injury. Well, we actually checked that on time. Ollie Canning was down for 2 minutes 17 seconds. And Damien Joyce, when he was down with the calf injury, was down for 1 minute and 7. So that was 3 minutes 24, and there was 3 minutes 31 when the clock went, so just those two incidents alone. But it is a source of frustration for people, though, Donald, isn't it?
Well, when you lose a tight match like that, Des, and you look at, you know, I mean, look, let's be quite honest, I was a manager, and when there's 3 minutes or 4 minutes put up, whatever else, right, you know, there's two substitutions made, and you try and run down the clock, and eventually the ref gets a little bit edgy if it goes over and he blows full time. But I think it's time that the GA looked at the situation of having, you know, like rugby, the referee calls time off and it's off, and he tells time on and it's on, and then there's no, like ladies football have been doing it for years and years, and then there's no grey area, as Paul said, and there's a case of it's straight on. If there's 6 minutes to be played, it's 6 minutes. If it's 4, it's 4, and people are happy that at least they got, you know, justice on the day.
All right then. Brings us to man of the match. Who are the nominees for man of the match, Don? Well,
I suppose 3 nominees basically. I mean, the thing is, there was 2 for Tip. Shane McGrath, I think when he was moved out from centre forward out to midfield, I think he changed the course of the game. I thought he was excellent out there, right, and he broke the Galway dominance of Jeff Farrer, and he did very, very well there. Secondly, Damien Hayes was outstanding again for Galway. Industry, accuracy, you know, work rate, everything. He had everything, scoring 1-3. And finally, I suppose, Garrod Ryan from Tipperary, right, so, you know, made his big Croke Park debut, so to speak, like, you know, excellent goal, excellent points, and you know, these were 3 worthy nominees.
Right, and the winner, Paul?
The winner, Des, is Garrod Ryan from Tipperary. I thought today, you know, his movement was excellent to wing forward. You know, he linked up play very well. He gave plenty of options to the inside forward line, and in fairness here, when he gets the chance, he's absolutely decisive, takes his couple of steps, shortens the 6, goes for power, but the ball ends up in the back of the net, and in fairness, he contributed brilliantly to Tipperary today.
All right then. Well, they'll be celebrating down in Temple-Derry, as you say. He was very mature, wasn't he, for a young lad, you know?
Well, there was an element of luck about the goal, really. Like, but once he got it, he had only one thing in his mind, and he did the right thing. He hit it high, so that even if he hits off the keeper, you have a great chance of getting a goal. And it was, you know, he showed, as Paul said, great maturity and got some excellent scores when Tipper under rocking a little bit. Like, so, you know, worthy man of the match, I must say.
Well, let's hear from him then. Temple-Derry's Garrod Ryan.
Barry Fitzpatrick of Guinness is here to present Garrod with his Man of the Match award.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Garrod. What is it like to play and win a game like that?
It's unbelievable. Like, I suppose 5 minutes ago, it didn't look too good for us, and I suppose we said plugging away, said fighting, and just lucky to come out and delighted, you know.
When you were down like that, as you said, you were down the few points, the match was taken away. What was going through your head? Did you know you did have it in you to come back?
So we were training hard all year, and I suppose we were on a few subs who were fresh, so they made a difference, you know.
All right, then we're just chatting there during that interview. The Congress did consider the time